Well, Jays fans, I didn't expect to be talking to you guys until at least after the free agency frenzy started. But here we are. It's a little early on here. It's not even December. We already have a trade. The Blue Jays have traded Aledmys Diaz to the Houston Astros in exchange for Trent Thornton. And he's a right-handed pitcher. And before we get off to this, to the start of the video, a lot of fans are angry and like, Shotkin's at it again. Oh, the terrible trade, terrible trade. My question is why? Aledmys Diaz was good this year, and I praised him left and right in the season review video. I did because he was good. But the thing is, guys, this Leafs whoa. See, we're in that mode right now. This Blue Jays team has a ridiculous amount of middle infielders. We've talked about it all year. At the draft, when they draft Jordan Groshans, the shortstop, we're all like, why do we need another one? But now you're getting upset about trading Aledmys Diaz, and who did we get, though? Yeah, a lot of people wondering that question. Well, you did get 24th ranked prospect in the Astros organization, Trent Thornton. The 25-year-old right-handed pitcher was in AAA this past season in I think it's Fresno. He was 9-8 with a 4.42 ERA in 22 starts. Guys, look. For the most part, he's going to be depth. Now, I don't know what the deal is about his whole Rule 5 situation. I know that could possibly become a problem. I don't know if you just do a small move, then he won't be affected by that. But I don't know what they're going to end up doing. Maybe if you get him on the 40-man roster, that won't be an issue. I'm not sure exactly what you have to do in that case. But assuming we have him, I don't really know much about him. I'm going to look at him right here, guys. So he's working in 2018, working at 93 to 95 miles an hour and topping out at 97. Could be a bullpen guy for this team as well moving forward, possibly even as early as this upcoming year. And with this trade of Aledmys Diaz away from the Toronto Blue Jays, it's kind of showing us the route this management is taking us. We didn't know if they were going to try and sign some older guys and kind of do what they did last season. Well, with the trade of Diaz and the acquisition of a young-ish right-handed pitcher who has no big league experience, which means he has 6 years of controllability at the big league level. Whereas Aledmys Diaz, I think, had a lot less than that, but I'm not exactly sure. I know, guys, Aledmys Diaz had a great year for this team. Hit 18 home runs, 55 RBIs, hit 260, didn't strike out a lot. That was the big reason of why I liked him so much. But let me run through some names real quick here. First things first, Devin Travis, possibly Troy Tulowitzki. Possibly. Okay? Richard Urania put together a really good second half campaign last year for the Jays. I think he ended up hitting over 300 over the tenure this past season. And where else are we here? Lourdes Gurriel Jr., guys. Okay, there's another name. And that's it for the big league roster. Now let's go to the top 30 prospects for the Blue Jays. A young man named Bo Bichette. A young man named Kevin Biggio, Kevin Smith, Jordan Groshans. Where are we here? There's some younger guys in there. Olivier Martinez, Miguel Geraldo, guys like that. Logan Warmoth, first round pick a couple of years ago. You know, there's so many other guys here. Santiago Espinal picked up in the Steve Pearce trade. Leonardo Jimenez. All those guys that I just mentioned are within the top 30 prospects of the Toronto Blue Jays. Now let's go to this. Bichette. Okay, there's one. Kevin Smith, Jordan Groshans, Kevin Biggio. 4 of your top 10 prospects are middle infielders. Not to mention Gurriel. We didn't need Aledmys Diaz. We assume Solarte is going to be gone very soon. And wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. So, guys, this move wasn't a move just because they didn't like Aledmys Diaz. That's not the case. If I'm not mistaken, Diaz was 28, possibly being 29 very soon. I'm not exactly sure his birthday. But you got a right-handed pitcher. You traded from a spot where you had a ton of depth and a ton of great-looking young talent. And you traded it for a position of need. Pitching. Period. The Jays got a few pitchers at the trade deadline. That was great. And now you acquired one so far in the offseason. Guys, this team is going to go young. This year, from what it looks like, just from this deal alone, this might not be the last deal we're going to see. With this deal being made, you might even see Randall Grichuk being traded. I liked what he did in the second half last year, but I also liked what Diaz did. Grichuk is in about the same area. The other thing is, he's a little bit younger than Diaz, though. I don't know. Ideally, the outfield depth isn't as good as the infield depth, so it's kind of questionable there. But this begs the different. This is where the question pops up, right? With the trading of Diaz, does this give Bo Bichette more of a chance to make the team out of spring training? That question will. I mean, it'll be questioned. That'll be questioned all winter long. But all I know is that Aledmys Diaz is a good player. He's going to the Astros because they need a guy like him. I think Marwin Gonzalez is gone. He's kind of that replacement. He's a good player. The Jays, they didn't need another middle infielder. They needed some pitching. They got a pitcher. I don't know what he's going to impact on the team, if he will at all. But you didn't need Diaz, really, in a sense, of the future picture of this team. At best, he was going to be we don't know really what our younger players are really going to turn out to be. But what it looks like, the way it does, this team doesn't look too bad. You know what I mean? And, guys, we got to take this trade for what it is. Depth for depth. They got depth because they got Diaz, who's going to be playing all over the field for the Astros and competing for a World Series. Good for him. And the Jays got back a pitcher who could possibly be in the pen next year, or could possibly be even going for that fifth spot in the rotation, depending on what free agency and the trade market goes for this team moving forward. Because if you look at the rotation right now, all assuming everybody's healthy, and assuming they're going with the younger core. What do we got here? Baraki, I'm not saying in an order. Baraki, Sean Reid-Foley, Thomas Pannone, Sanchez, and Stroman. There's 5 starters, and all those guys are under the age of 28 years old. I think Stroman's like 27, if I'm not mistaken. You know, if you know, Pannone doesn't pitch well in spring training, or Sean Reid-Foley doesn't, you could see one of those guys in AAA. And if Thornton proves to everybody that he can pitch very well, and if he does a great spring, he could make the rotation out of camp. I don't think so. I think for me, he's a bullpen guy with a good fastball, it looks like. But he could possibly be a number 4 starter, 5 starter for this team in the very near future. But we don't really know. Raw talent, 25 years old, has never seen the big leagues before. Last year, again, we don't know what his splits were. He could have had a terrible start to the season and come on near the end. We have no idea really what happened to him. We just see a solid number of 4.42 or 4.1? 4.42 ERA. We don't know what his splits were halfway through the year kind of thing. If they're identical, then okay, well, you off of that. But guys, overall, a trade was made, and you guys can go off of what you want, but I just told you right there, 4 of the top 10 prospects for the Blue Jays are second base or shortstop. Diaz is a shortstop and second base, well, more or less second and third. But we know who's playing third base for the most part next year. So he wouldn't play there. Shortstop, you have Gurriel. You want to give him the time. You want to let him run with it for most of the year. So Diaz would have to go. Right? So guys, you know what? You guys can take this for what it was. You guys can grade this A, B plus B. I mean, it's hard to grade that because it was such a minute trade, and it really, I don't know, it's not going to impact the team a huge amount, I don't think. But you guys can go at it for what it was. What would you expect from this of Thornton that we just picked up? What do you think of the trade in general? What do you think of Diaz leaving? I don't like that he's leaving. However, I know what it means, and I know that this team wants to give some run to some of the younger players, and I understand that. And as a Leaf fan, we know what it takes. When you let your younger players play, good things will eventually happen. All right, so let this happen, Jays fans. It's going to take some time, but you got a younger player, you got a pitcher, enjoy it. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys overall like this deal for the Jays. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys. What did you think of the trade? What do you think of Trent Thornton that the Jays picked up? What were your fondest memories of Aledmys Diaz? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this trade in general, what your expectations are moving forward for this team. Do you think there's going to be more deals to be made? Who's next to go? All that crazy stuff. You guys go nuts in the comments, and Evan and I will talk to you guys Thursday podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes, guys. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys, what will it be, Leafs edition on Monday night as the Leafs take on the Columbus Blue Jackets back at Scotiabank Arena after that long road trip. I will be at that game. So that video will be uploaded to you guys later than usual, but it will be uploaded on Monday night. Don't you guys worry about that. And as for the Raptors, they take on the Chicago Bulls tonight. You must win that game. I'll be at my girlfriend's tonight, guys, so that video will be uploaded there. All right, just to give you guys a heads up about the different background that it will be had when the game is over there tonight. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the trade for the Jays. Look, it's all gonna work out in the long run for this team. Just let Shapiro and Atkins do their thing. Let's keep our mouths shut. Let them play it out, and go from there. All right, that's the way you want to look at it. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you guys then.